Ethiopian Christian women's bodies as battlefields. 200,000 women, children, and nuns were raped and abused. From Cinzia, Canneri, winner of the 2023 Camille Lepage Award, May 30th, 2025. The systematic targeting of women's bodies in war has come to light as a strategy used around the world. Women are subjected to specific forms of violence, in particular sexual violence, or what has been termed gender-based violence. Clearly, men are also victims of violence, but it is the gendered nature of violence which marks the experience of women as different. This project has focused on the situation of Eritrean and Tigrinya women who have fled across the borders of Eritrea, Ethiopia, and Sudan, 3 countries with geopolitical links. The women here are constantly subjected to physical violence, while also being victims of socio-political forces and ethnic and border-related conflicts. And this did not change after Eritrea and Ethiopia signed a peace deal in 2018, an agreement that led to the Nobel Peace Prize being granted to the Ethiopian Prime Minister in 2019. The project was initially on Eritrean women fleeing one of the most repressive regimes in the world and seeking refuge in Ethiopia between 2017 and 2019. It was then extended after the Ethiopian National Defense Force, backed by forces from the Amhara region and from Eritrea, invaded Tigray in northern Ethiopia in November 2020. Tigrinya and Eritrean women fled to refugee camps, some to Addis Ababa and others to Sudan. United Nations experts have made accusations of crimes and atrocities against all sides involved in the Tigray conflict, including the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF, Eritrean Defense Forces, EDF, and Amhara militias, Fano. And there have been specific charges of sexual violence against women. Eritrean armed forces use sexual violence as a weapon of war against both Eritrean and Tigrayan women, punishing Eritrean women for fleeing their country and targeting Tigrayan women to exterminate them. Their bodies became battlefields. They have suffered individual and gang rape, sexual slavery, mutilation, and torture, leaving lasting physical and mental scars. Very young Tigrayan girls joined the army for protection, while Eritrean girls feared their own soldiers. Women who have been victims of violence have been abandoned by their husbands and face social stigma. But some have formed support networks to rebuild their lives, and many have found plots of land to farm and provide food. The International Commission of Human Rights Experts on Ethiopia was set up in December 2021 to investigate violations, but the Ethiopian government has been obstructing such external efforts. After 2 years of war, the Ethiopia-Tigray Cessation of Hostilities Agreement, the Pretoria Agreement, was signed, but peace is a long process, not just a military deal, and requires the recognition of human rights for both men and women. Women are demanding justice and are aspiring to a better future for themselves and their children. The United Nations, the European and American female ministers, and the Vatican exactly know that since the beginning of the genocidal jihad in the northern Ethiopian regions of Tigray, Amhara, and Afar in November 2020 till today, 1.5 million Orthodox Christians were brutally massacred. 200,000 Orthodox Christian women, children, and nuns were raped and abused. Over 1 million Ethiopians were forced to migrate to other countries. There are 5 million internally displaced people severely impacted by the genocidal jihad, hostilities, and climate shocks. Over 1 million female Ethiopian slaves are sold to the inhumane, cruel, and barbaric Arab Muslim countries. 20 million Ethiopian are forced to experience food insecurity by the fascist Islamo-Protestant Oromo army of the prosperity gospel heretic PM Abiy Ahmed Ali and his UN, Arab, Israeli, Turkish, Iranian, European, American, Russian, Ukrainian, African allies.
Stand here for one kid. Over there. Okay, so audience is this one. I can meet you.
for the past few months. What I really wanted to talk to you all about is what he said in regards to the reports of rape and sexual violence being used as a weapon of war in the conflict. Here's a short clip from his address in response to a question about these rapes.
ሰብአዊ መብት ጥሰት የሚሰቃዩ ትግራይ ስላለው ችግር የሚሰቃዩ ሰዎች የሰሜን ዕዝ ጥቃት በሚመለከት ምንም አያነሱ። ሰሜን ዕዝ እንኳን ተጠቀም ተዋረደ። ሴቶች እኮ አሁን በወንድ የተደፈሩት የኛ ወታደሮች ግን በሳንጃ ተደፍረዋል።
For those of you who can't speak Amharic, he basically said, while their women might have been raped, our soldiers were stabbed with daggers. Now, in my opinion, this is one of the most disgusting things I've seen a head of state say in my lifetime. I may only be in my early 20s, but Jesus Christ, he basically just equated the mass rape of thousands of women who have nothing to do with the warring parties involved who are actually, fighting this conflict. He compared their rape to the killing of soldiers who sign up to die. Like, I'm sorry, I have respect for all those who decide to go into military service. But as a soldier, you are accepting the real possibility that you will be killed in combat. So to compare this rampant sexual violence against the Tigrayan women, to compare that to killing soldiers who sign up to die in combat is just mind-blowing.